Hey guys, welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial Podcast, the podcast where we talk to the people that know Lawrenceville best. I'm your host, Nate McGill from Gwinnett Magazine, as always, and today we're talking about the litter problem. Oh my gosh, it's a problem. We're talking about recycling. We're talking about all things clean and beautiful. Lawrenceville is an award-winning city. We're going to talk about that and how you can do your part to keep the city clean. Check it out. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Lawrenceville Bicentennial Podcast. It's the podcast where we talk to the people that know the city best. Today, we're talking about all things clean and all things beautiful. We're talking about the wonderful city of Lawrenceville and everything that they have going on with recycling and just everything beautiful, pretty much. So we have two amazing guests here today. We have Barry Mock. He is the Assistant City Manager. He is the Public Works Director. You got a couple other titles, I think.
Something like that, but that covers it.
Yeah, that covers it. All right. And we have Schelly Marlatt of Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful. She's the Executive Director. So why don't you guys start off, just tell us like a little bit what all is in your role. Schelly, you want to hit it off first?
Sure. So as Executive Director of Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful, we are a hybrid national affiliate, but a local affiliate of the national nonprofit Keep America Beautiful. So we're a hybrid. So we have a nonprofit side of the house, but we are funded by Gwinnett County government.
Okay,
so we're housed in Gwinnett County government office buildings. We are considered Gwinnett County employees. So with that, we have kind of not double duty, but a lot of different things going on in our house, so to speak. Mm-hmm. So we service Gwinnett County and Gwinnett County residents on multitude of programs that are special and important to the Board of Commissioners and the County Administrator's Office. But then on the other side of the house, we also have the nonprofit, which enables us to apply for grants and then put that money and that funding back into the community.
Okay.
In addition to doing that, we are blessed to have the opportunity to host the governor for our annual Governor's Environmental Address.
Very cool. Very cool. And I see you guys have like a lot of things that you do. Like you do y'all do the Adopt a Road programs and stuff like that too?
Yeah, we love the Adopt a Road program. It's one of the longest running programs of Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful. Right now we have about 205 organizations that have adopted a 1 mile stretch.
That's pretty cool.
Gwinnett County.
And they just take care of the road, and then they have the little signs that you see when you drive by.
Yes,
after
the second cleanup, they get their sign erected with their name on it, and the county Department of Transportation will come and pick up all the debris that they've removed from the roadside.
Pretty awesome. There's a lot going on with Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful. Barry, why don't you tell us a little bit about your role and what you're doing over at the City of Lawrenceville?
Okay. So as the Assistant City Manager, I do support the executive staff there and the city manager. But I oversee the public works departments. We've got electric, natural gas, streets and sanitation, damage prevention, fleet maintenance, building maintenance.
There's a lot going on.
A lot going on.
Yeah. Well, you know, City of Lawrenceville, it's a beautiful city. It's changing. There's a lot of growth happening in the city. So every day, probably a little different than the last one.
That's right.
But you guys have been in Lawrenceville for quite a while. You guys go way back, go all the way back to high school. And so you both went to Central, is that right?
That's right.
That's correct.
Go Black Knights.
There you go. So that's pretty cool. So you guys have known each other for a while. Maybe just talk about your relationship to the city of Lawrenceville, Barry.
Well, I did grow up in Lawrenceville, went to Central Gwinnett High School. I lived there for the majority of my life. I never thought I'd be working for the city, but found myself here a few years ago and really do enjoy it.
That's cool.
There's a satisfaction that comes with being able to help improve the community that you grew up in. There's a lot of familiar faces, a lot of familiarity in places like that.
Yeah, and kind of get to give back to hometown, right?
That's right.
Yeah, that's cool. Schelly, how about you? You go all the way back to Lawrenceville, and then how'd you get involved and become the executive director with Gwinnett?
Okay, so I've been in Lawrenceville since I was 6 months old, and so you know, I am a graduate of Central Gwinnett. Barry and I go way back. He actually used to drive me to school on several occasions. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So you know, what's important to me about living really working in Lawrenceville, and to echo Barry's statement, I never thought that I would come back to Lawrenceville at all. I thought I'm going to get out and go to college and graduate and be somewhere else. But here I am, and I couldn't imagine being anywhere else. I'm passionate about people, I'm passionate about community, and I love giving back. My parents instilled that in both of us, Barry's parents too, in giving back to the community in which you live, work, and play. So as far as how I got to become executive director, I used to work for Gwinnett Clean Beautiful way back in the day, in 2007 to 2009, as their marketing and community outreach and human resources.
I gotcha, okay.
So after that, fast forward a couple of years, I worked for Gwinnett County Solid Waste Management Division, and I managed the contracts with all the trash haulers.
Gotcha.
Did that for 6 years, and then I was approached about the executive director position. So
very, very cool.
Yeah.
There's so Gwinnett Clean Beautiful. It goes way back, like all the way back to the early '80s, right?
1980.
1980 was when it was first founded.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. And so you said it was part of a national nonprofit.
Mm-hmm.
And so when it did first start, do you know about the origins of Gwinnett Clean Beautiful?
Yes. So the Junior Women's League kind of spearheaded Gwinnett Clean Beautiful. They gathered people at the female seminary in downtown Lawrenceville to talk about, seeing litter on the side of the road and illegal dumping and all the blight that was taking place in Lawrenceville. And they banded together to come up with a way to combat those things, and because they took pride in where they lived. Sure. And so because of that, they spearheaded Gwinnett Clean Beautiful. They started doing that in the late 70s.
Wow. In
1980, Gwinnett Clean Beautiful was officially born.
Yeah, because back in those days, you would just find an old dirt road, and it would just be piled up with stuff. People would just go drop it all off.
Exactly.
I remember just growing up out in the Decula area. And, even in the 90s, you could still drive around and find those areas. I'm guessing you could probably still find them today, and you guys are dealing with that. Mm-hmm. So people just dropping off stuff, people littering, throwing stuff out, like all those kind of things that kind of muck up everything for the rest of us, you guys are kind of combating every day.
Every day.
Are those still the problems, or is those the main issues? Illegal
dumping and litter are, I would say, the two biggest problems. People don't realize that in Gwinnett and I know in Lawrenceville that your mattresses and box springs and your washers and dryers and those types of things will be collected by your hauler. All you have to do is call, especially with the Gwinnett County program. You just have to give them at least 48 hours notice, and they'll pick that up for free instead of going out in the depths of darkness and tossing it on the side of the road.
Isn't it easier just to call somebody?
You
would think so. I mean, because if you have on a covert mission to go hide, refrigerator. I mean, you don't want to get arrested for that.
No, and it's harder to do that. You have to load it in your truck and go out in the middle of the night and dump it in a ditch. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, it's like just a secret mission that you don't want to really have to plan or be on. When you're in jail and someone asks, "What are you in for?" You don't want to be like, "Well, refrigerator."
Right, exactly.
Trying to hide the fridge.
I dumped a fridge.
Yeah, not good.
No.
So you guys are combating that. You're out there. And that's primarily, I guess, why folks are adopting the roadways and taking care of them. Just people just throw stuff out their window and, everything like that. That's wild.
Isn't it?
It is. I never really quite understood the litter bugs, honestly. I mean, I get it, just like not thinking about it and just hoping somebody else is going to come along and pick it up, I guess. But, then I complain about people who don't put up their buggies at the grocery store.
Yeah, that's a big problem.
So it's the same thing. Barry, you guys are doing a lot in the city of Lawrenceville with recycling and things like that. And I think you guys got a new glass program or something like that going on.
That's right.
Why don't you talk a little bit about that, what the city's doing?
So beginning of this year, we started our glass recycle program. The city offers curbside single stream recycle collection.
Okay.
But within that single stream, you cannot recycle glass.
I gotcha.
So the haulers will not allow you to put the glass in there. So it has to be separated. It's too expensive to go by and pick that up on the curb. So we started a drop-off location in Lawrenceville at our Public Works facility.
Okay.
We started that. We soft launched last year at the end of the year, but went live with that program in January. And so it's open to anyone in the county. Can come by 24/7 and drop off their glass for recycling.
Are you seeing a good amount of people doing that?
we see a lot of glass. I don't know what kind of volume Schelly sees at their other locations, but we're doing about 5.5 tons a month.
Wow, that's good.
To the point that we're in the process of modifying our program and getting a larger dumpster out there, larger capacity for our facility.
Now, if I want to go recycle glass, do I have to, is there like a process? Do I need to clean those bottles out? Is it something kind of like, because I know with plastic and just other recycling, a lot of times you just don't want to have like mayonnaise in the mayonnaise jar, you know?
Yeah, you do need to rinse it out.
Yeah.
That's about the only thing.
Right. I think, a lot of the recycling myths that we could probably debunk in this podcast. I'm sure you guys have quite a few that you probably see. And I think, everybody feels like they're doing a good job when they're putting stuff into the recycle bin. But, I think we have some, like, for example, pizza boxes with grease on the bottom. Is that recyclable?
Yes.
It is? Mm-hmm. So I could put those in there and that's fine?
You absolutely can. Just don't leave a piece of pizza in there and don't leave a bunch of cheese. It's been known to happen, people. So,
but grease, fine. So
grease
pizza boxes can go into the recycle bin?
Yes.
All right, cool deal. Now, what about the open container that I have? Like if it just gets rained on, is that good? Or, or do I need to have that covered? Do I need to request a covered recycle bin?
We prefer that it is covered. In Gwinnett County, if you are part of that program, you can reach out to the Solid Waste Division and request a 65-gallon wheeled cart that has a lid on it.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
So that just makes it super easy.
Super easy.
And then you can recycle cardboards, plastics.
Plastics 1 and 2.
Paper. Plastic. What's the difference between 1 and 2?
Ones are typically your water bottles.
Okay.
Twos are your detergent bottles. So mostly 1s and 2s, mostly your bottles.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. That's good to know. What else is recyclable?
There are a lot of items placed in those recycle bins that are not recyclable through the single stream process.
Gotcha.
As Schelly mentioned, 1s and 2s. She's much more the expert on that than I am. But our haulers will tell us that 30 to 40% of the stuff that people put in their recycle carts winds up in the landfill.
Wow. So what kind of stuff is that? Do you have any idea?
Me?
You're going to bounce it back and
It's fine. Your plastics, your 3, 4s, and 5s. So sometimes your shampoo and conditioner bottles, yogurt tubs, butter tubs, your plastic bags, your Kroger, Publix, Kohl's.
Yeah.
Walmart plastic bags, that's a major no-no.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Glass, those are really your culprits.
Okay.
We call it wish cycling. So if somebody says, oh, I think this is recyclable, so they just put it in their bin. And that leads to contamination.
I see. So we want to get educated about this and try to figure out what actually goes in the bin and what does not. You mentioned the bags from like the grocery store. Now, you can take those back to the grocery store.
Absolutely.
But most people just use those as garbage bags.
They do.
They go in all my bathrooms. I'm fancy like that.
So those things actually are recyclable if you recycle them the proper way.
Okay.
They just can't go in your normal recycle
bin
on the curb.
Because if you look at the Publix bag, it literally says like, you could reuse this, take it up to the store, and I guess they have a way to dispose those.
They do. They have the containers outside of the door that, your styrofoam's a big culprit for contamination as well. So Publix, Kroger, Ingles, Target, those places take those right outside of their front door before you ever enter the
So if you want to recycle and you want to have, a greener footprint or whatever, however they are calling it these days, carbon footprint.
Yeah, it's carbon footprint. Lessen your carbon footprint.
Okay. Then just be a better person. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yes. And Lawrenceville, we partner with Lawrenceville and West Rock to offer the Hefty Energy Bag program.
Okay.
Where you can put all your other plastics that don't go in your single stream curb into an orange bag, and then they will process that, and it becomes, construction products.
Just one extra step. This is a good education for the kiddos at home too. If you want to, you really have to. This is really not about like, a goal setting endeavor or anything like that. This is something you got to do little by little every day. And I think that, people who get into the practice of recycling, it's just like any other kind of habit. You just kind of have to get into it to realize that, look, these small actions that we do are really forming us into being people that are really helping our community in any way we can. This is something that everybody can do. Not everybody does, but the more you do it, it is one of those things where, people become, pretty zealous about recycling. Once you kind of get into the habit of doing it, it's one of those things that can get contagious in a workplace, in a family. And then, those are also the people that call like, hey, dude, this guy just threw something out his window.
Right. And people do call us.
They do
that.
call?
They do.
Really?
Yes.
I guess everybody's got those dashboard cams these
They
days.
do.
So
And I've seen videos.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God. I'd like to see
It's crazy.
some of those.
People always,
Really?
Yeah, somebody always wants to rat somebody out.
Y'all have to watch it now,
know.
and put up your buggy as well.
Put up your
while you're-
buggy and don't.
All right. Well, okay. So we talked a little bit about this glass program. Now that's cool. Now, where is the Public Works facility that does the donation for that?
So we're located at 435 West Pike Street, which is just outside of downtown.
Oh, okay.
Pike Street.
I gotcha.
There's a red light back behind the budget rental car.
Okay. And what about I know I'm getting way into recycling. I'm just really fascinated by this. Okay. When I grew up, we used to collect our cans, and my grandpa would collect cans, like aluminum cans, Coke cans, and I remember we used to drive them over to off of Hurricane Shoals Road over there, and they had a place where you could just go. Maybe you'd get a couple bucks or something, but we would make a thing of it. But those kind of practices early on kind of just, because you would go out. Now I'm from here and been from here, and so I'm pretty country, guys. but so you go fishing or you go do something like that, and you'd see trash or whatever out, and my grandpa and parents were always big about hey, let's pick this stuff up and let's keep it nice and clean. So we would start recycling young, and it probably just got ingrained into us as kids growing up. So it is something that's trainable, learnable, and taking your kids on a field trip to go recycle glass. It's a great activity for families, I think.
Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about the projects that you guys have as a partnership between the city and Gwinnett Clean Beautiful, because you guys are working together on some things, correct?
So we work together on the glass recycling.
Okay.
Gwinnett Clean Beautiful puts our location out there with the others that they support. And then as Schelly mentioned earlier, we are partnering with the Hefty Orange Bag Program.
Very cool. Very cool. And so if folks want to pick those up, how do they get those? Do they apply for that or call?
The orange bags are sold at grocery stores.
And then Kroger and Target.
Oh, so you can just go and buy one.
Mm-hmm. You can, you
wonderful.
can go buy a box, and you can also get it online as well. So we have all those links on our website.
It's just the Hefty bag, so it's in the trash bag area?
It's in the trash bag area.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
It's an orange trash bag, and in that trash bag you can put the plastics that she mentioned that are not allowed on your curbside container. Those then have to be hand delivered to a facility in Lawrenceville that she mentioned. West Rock handles that program.
I would say in addition to the, Hefty Energy Bag Program and the glass recycling program, we are good partners and stewards of each other's, programs and events and things that they have going on. The City of Lawrenceville is always super awesome in sharing and promoting our annual events that are occurring or coming up, or any other special type of event or news release or something like that. They are always so good about doing that, and we appreciate that. So it is a true partnership, and on the flip side, we do the same thing for them.
Our social media team does a great job of reposting and making sure that those who follow the City of Lawrenceville and our residents are aware of those events that they're facilitating. Mm-hmm. We have links on our websites that what is and what is not recyclable. Some of those point back to Gwinnett Clean Beautiful's website.
Great.
Because they've done such a good job of identifying what those products are.
Sure.
So there is this synergy where we are really using each other's expertise kind of to support those things.
Absolutely.
That's great. So just a true partnership.
Absolutely.
Now you guys did an event. Was it an event or the Beautiful Day in Lawrenceville?
So we have a campaign now that's our slogan for customer service and our sanitation department.
I gotcha.
So we had a great employee. His name was Jasper. Jasper worked for the city for over 30 years.
Wow.
And he drove a garbage truck for us. He was probably the happiest guy you'd ever encounter.
Really?
Always a smile on his face. If you saw him around town, he's waving at you. It was pretty common in the morning. If you encountered Jasper, he'd say, "It's a beautiful day in Lawrenceville."
Really?
Just always
his
positive.
Motto.
That was his motto.
Yeah.
So we kind of adopted that after he retired. We put it on T-shirts. We put it on the side of our garbage truck. We put it on lanyards.
That is cool.
And now our customer service department, when they answer the phone, that's how they answer the phone. They say, "It's a beautiful day in Lawrenceville." So it's been a great little campaign. We started that last summer.
That is awesome. That's cool.
It's a cool story.
Yeah, what a legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have no idea what the impact somebody's going to make. I mean,
Right?
that's just something he would say every day.
Yeah.
And here they are. They have
Just
a
driving the garbage
program.
truck.
Yeah.
He's just a great, happy guy. Loved his job.
Yeah.
Did it for 30 years.
Hey man, if you're loving what you do, you can really make a difference anywhere. That's pretty cool.
It's not a job, really.
Yeah, that's
right.
If you're passionate about what you do.
It's a purpose.
That's right.
Yeah, you're finding purpose in what you do. That's cool. That is really a cool story. So you guys got that started, and you started it last fall. Is that right?
Yeah, so last year we were faced with some rising costs with our recycle collection, sanitation collection. So we were tasked with coming up with some solutions. We looked at discontinuing the recycle program. Our recycle costs were doubling.
I gotcha.
So we looked at eliminating recycle. We looked at increasing costs to our residents. Neither one of those were very favorable options. So our third option, which we had, was to go to every other week recycle collection. We offer a lot of services to our residents, and we just realized that we weren't doing a good job communicating those. So we had a strong emphasis on redoing some web pages, doing a lot of communication. We do sanitation tips every Tuesday on our social media post. And so all of that kind of started last summer. And that's also the same time we launched the It's a Beautiful Day in Lawrenceville campaign.
Very cool. Very, very cool. Like you said earlier, education is just such a big part of it. I would imagine every other week recycling actually probably works pretty well because you kind of need a little time to,
We had some that were concerned that they may have too much recycled material. And if they have a concern, we'll give them a second bin.
Gotcha.
We're more than happy to accommodate. So we don't offer the rolling carts that are offered in unincorporated Gwinnett. Some people have a tendency to use those as a second garbage can.
Yeah, that's true.
When their garbage can gets full, they're just going to throw trash in there, and then you wind up putting that in your recycle and contaminates your recycle.
When you take everything through this facility to have it recycled, maybe just paint a picture of what that looks like for people.
So we take your solid waste and your recycled material to what's called a transfer station, and it gets dumped on the floor in the transfer station. They then use a big bulldozer and pack it into an 18-wheeler and ship it off either to a landfill or to a recycled material facility. Now, I'm trying to think where they take it. It's down near Atlanta, right?
You take it to West Rock and Marietta.
Yeah, that's where we went, was Marietta.
Yeah,
Right.
with the big facility. So the West Rock transfer station, like Barry said, loads up all the recyclables and those types of things, and then takes it down to West Rock facility where it's there sorted through their immaculate sorting, like he talked about
It's like a
earlier.
machine.
It is.
Yeah.
I mean, everything kind of comes down a conveyor belt, and then the eddy current sends aluminum and steel cans one way, paper goes another way, plastic goes a completely different way, and then it's baled, and then after it's sorted, it's baled and then shipped off, sold off to processors.
Pretty neat process.
It is very cool.
You see them dump it at the beginning, and it's just a pile of mixed recycled material, and at the end, everything is sorted, bundled, ready to go to the recyclers.
And so they can go make more stuff out of it.
That's right.
That's very
right.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
I think it's something that we can all do, like I mentioned before, and getting involved and getting educated and going and checking out the website and checking out Gwinnett Clean Beautiful's website and finding out how you can, recycle these things and get your family involved and just kind of understand that you're a part of a larger process that unfortunately is invisible to most people. Because if you don't think about it and you don't start to engage in it, then you just kind of, go on not thinking about your trash, until a point where you have to clean it up. And, I don't think our community is quite there yet, but, but we have to think about these things. It's super important for our community, I think.
Yeah, our communications team has done a great job of putting all that information on our website. So we'd encourage people to go and check it out. We've got links to Gwinnett Clean Beautiful, again, what is and what is not recyclable and how to recycle specific items.
So the city of Lawrenceville recently won an award at a luncheon, I guess, that you guys put on. Is that right?
That is correct.
Very cool. What was that all about?
It was the 14th annual Governor's Environmental Address. We were kind of on a hiatus for a couple of years due to the pandemic. And so we were so excited to get started back this last August 11th. And we presented the city of Lawrenceville with the Green Government award recognition for all the great things that they're doing. You know, It's a Beautiful Day in Lawrenceville program, and partnering with us to offer glass recycling, because as the county seat, there weren't a lot of other locations to recycle glass, and so having them in the hub, so to speak. And offering it to not just city residents, but anyone to come in and do that was huge. That was a huge opportunity, not just for the city of Lawrenceville, but to do right by all residents of Gwinnett County. So that, and as well as the Hefty Energy Bag program. So they deserved it. They've been doing some really, really great things. Their education, they knocked up their education by several notches, and they just do a great job. So they deserved to be recognized for all that.
Pretty awesome. Everybody that lives in Lawrenceville, you should be proud of your city. Award winning.
Absolutely.
Keeping it clean and beautiful. Are there any future projects you guys want to talk about, like things that are going on, or maybe initiatives that you have underway?
For us, as we approach Christmas, our big program is Bring One for the Chipper. So, where you recycle Christmas trees, we call it tree cycling.
Oh, yeah.
So, we partner with the county's fire stations, and you can drop off your tree at designated fire stations. I think there are about 27 or 30 of them. They're listed on our website. Then, in partnership with the DOT will haul those over to Bethesda Park. And then on the 29th of January, we will all gather and we will chip trees into mulch. That mulch will be used in county parks.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. It's very cool.
You can kind of see the whole process.
The whole process.
Yeah.
So they do that once a year. We do that all year long.
Yeah.
We tree cycle.
Was that a one-up that I just heard?
You just one-up me. So rude.
But in the city, we have a limb program and a leaf program, and we will come by free of charge and pick up your limbs or your leaves. So if you trim your trees, trim your bushes, or if you got leaves this time of year, come out by the curb. We've got a crew of guys that go around the entire city and collect those. We take them to a site in Lawrenceville where we then mulch them as well offer that mulch for free to anyone that wants to come. Again, you don't have to be a resident of the city.
You just come and pick it up.
You can come, bring your pickup truck, and we'll put it in the bag.
It's just free mulch.
Free mulch.
Do you do that every week or every month? Because we get calls, and so I want to be able to tell people the right thing.
Yeah. We offer free mulch every Friday.
Okay.
Now, there are some limited Fridays during the holidays, but for the most part, it's every Friday.
Okay.
During business hours. And then during the spring and summer, we'll offer it occasionally on a Saturday as well. We have an abundance of mulch. A lot of our mulch also ends up in the county parks. We give it away for free, so they'll bring a dump truck and fill it up and take it to a park.
That's pretty cool.
So that's another way that we're helping to recycle some other things.
That is great for people to know. And I guess if you don't know, so people can take it. Do they have to take it there? You said they could come pick it up.
So they just put it by the curb, and we will.
You just come get it.
We come get it.
Nice.
And then they can come get the free mulch anytime they want. Now we will, if they want a bunch, we can deliver mulch within the city limits as well.
Wow.
So
that's awesome. Very cool.
So new projects for us, as I mentioned, recycle has really gotten to be an expensive process for a city to offer that service. Not just the collection, but the disposal costs as well are both going up significantly. So we're evaluating ways that we can improve that and bring those costs down. We've got some ideas that we're hoping to be rolling out next year as well for our recycle.
And we will look for those.
Well, and in addition, the county is also adding different locations to drop off their glass too, which might help alleviate some of your volume. Because right now, I mean, like I said, Lawrenceville's in the city, is in the hub
Right.
of the county seat. So everybody's bringing it there, myself included, because, I go right by there on my way to work. But we do have locations at the one in Lacrosse, over there off of Indian Trail, Pickneyville Park, and then we just added E.E. Robinson off of Peachtree Industrial. So we're hoping that we can add additional locations all across Gwinnett County for glass recycling. So we're just we're partnering with Parks and Community Services to offer that. We just have to be very strategic about, where it's going to be placed and those types of things. So
Understandable. Man, as the population just kind of explodes exponentially in Gwinnett, Lawrenceville as well, it's something that I guess we just have to stay on top of, and you guys are doing a great job at that. And so we really appreciate all the work that you guys are doing, just kind of keeping us straight. Y'all are our version of Captain Planet. Y'all remember that show?
Captain Planet still
Back
exists.
in the day. Does he really?
Yes.
Well, I just remember growing up watching TBS and Braves
His
games.
Schoolhouse Rock and all that. They talked about recycling and not littering. So
Need more and more of that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this conversation, this podcast. If you want to look around the house, there's plenty of recyclable items. You can go and check out the Gwinnett Clean and Beautiful website. Check out the City of Lawrenceville's site for options that they have inside of the city, and get to recycling. We got to clean this place up. We got to do our part.
That's right.
And everybody can contribute to that. So thanks for listening. You guys subscribe and have a good one.